Good afternoon, I'm Josh Duncan, and these are some of the top headlines out of the Kelowna Now newsroom today. Unfortunately, there will not be a new tennis dome to use in Kelowna this winter. Tennis Clubs of Canada has confirmed that the highly anticipated tennis dome at Kelowna's Mission Recreation Park is behind schedule and will not be installed this fall as originally planned. Although the dome won't be happening this year, the building permit for the so-called Mission Racket Center has been approved and construction is expected to begin in the next couple of weeks. It'll pause in mid-December and then for the winter and resume in March, with plans to open the domeless facility on May 1st, 2026, in time for outdoor use during the spring and summer season. Then the dome will finally be installed during the last week of next September and be ready for fall and winter use next year on October 1st. The new facility is being built in the southeast corner of Mission Recreation Park and will feature 5 competition standard courts. A group of Kelowna RCMP officers have been cleared of any wrongdoing in connection to a 2020 incident that resulted in a theft suspect being bitten by a police dog. During the incident, officers and the police dog pursued a suspect in an e-bike theft along the rail trail, which ultimately ended in that police dog bite and some serious injuries. The man who was bit told investigators with the Independent Investigation Office of BC that he had actually recovered his friend's stolen e-bike, not stolen the bike himself, and didn't stop for police because he had issues with the RCMP before. He claimed an officer punched him repeatedly and multiple officers stood around laughing at his injuries. The officers remembered the situation much differently, saying a frantic member of the public waved them down, saying their e-bike was stolen, and quickly spotted the suspect, which started that pursuit. They denied the claims about punching or laughing at the man, while an attending paramedic actually testified that the officer's quick actions to tourniquet the dog bite wound likely saved the man's life. The IIO's Chief Civilian Director, Jessica Berglund, ultimately ruled there was no credible evidence backing the man's claims against the officers, and she cleared the officers of any wrongdoing. That means no charges will be considered. It is that time of year again. There is a weather alert in place for the Okanagan Connector this weekend as temperatures are set to plummet here in Kelowna with a daytime high of just 8 degrees on Sunday, overnight lows around freezing all weekend. Environment Canada has issued a special weather statement for BC interior travelers. It says there will be a possible accumulation of 2 to 10 centimeters of snow on mountain pass routes, specifically listing the Connector, that is Highway 97C between West Kelowna and Merritt, as a spot that could see some troublesome conditions. This change in weather conditions, expected to begin Saturday afternoon and last until Monday, is due to a cold front moving through the BC interior. Be sure to check Drive BC for the latest highway conditions and closures before heading out on a trip this long weekend. Mail is set to begin moving again as the Canadian Union of Postal Workers will move from a nationwide strike to rotating strikes starting at 6 a.m. Saturday. The union says they did not take the decision to move to a nationwide strike lightly in the first place, and postal workers would much rather be delivering, postal workers would much rather have a new agreement and be delivering mail rather than taking strike action. The union has been unhappy with the federal government's latest offer, saying it's worse than what they rejected back in August. The strike began at the end of September after the federal government gave its approval to the Crown Corporation to make several changes, most notably the conversion of the remaining 4 million door-to-door addresses to community mailboxes. The union said it couldn't stand by as the government announced its plans to allow Canada Post to slash or gut the postal service and slash thousands of jobs. All right, wrapping up in sports here. How about a little weekend preview for our local junior teams? Starting with the Kelowna Rockets, they will host the Seattle Thunderbirds at Prospera Place tonight. Expected to be the season debut of Tej Aginla, which is very exciting. Rockets trying to build off an exciting last-minute victory over the Prince George Cougars on the road 2 nights ago. Tomorrow night, Saturday, the Rockets will head south to Penticton for another matchup with those rival Vs. The West Kelowna Warriors, BCHL, they're on the road in the Kootenays this weekend. First up, a matchup with the 6-0 Trail Smoke Eaters at Cominco Arena this evening. followed by a showdown with the Cranbrook Bucks at Western Financial Place on Saturday night. And from the ice to the gridiron, the Okanagan Sun begin their playoff journey after a perfect regular season. That journey begins this weekend, the start of their pursuit of a national championship. They host the Vancouver Island Raiders at the Apple Bowl, 1 p.m. on Saturday. A nice afternoon affair. That will be the BCFC semifinals. If they win, they're on to the finals next weekend. All right, a quick look at the forecast. It is only, oh shoot, I didn't do the updated forecast. Excuse me. Well, let me just look now. Looks like it's 18, a slim chance of showers, but it looks mainly sunny out there right now. Overnight low is, I believe, if we scroll down a little, doing this on the fly, partly cloudy, 8 degrees, some periods of rain potential tomorrow morning, stretching into the afternoon. And from what I remember, I did talk a bit about that snowfall warning. I believe the high is 13 on Saturday with some rain in the forecast, and then just cloudy, no rain on Sunday with a high of just 8. And then back into the double digits on Monday, potentially a little sunshine as well, if I remember correctly. Apologize for this kind of half-arsed forecast. All right, that is it for me today and this weekend. As you can tell, it's clearly Friday. You can read up on all these stories and plenty more over at KelownaNow.com. Be sure to check out our socials as well. KelownaNow.com on TikTok, Kelowna Now on X, Best of Kelowna Now on Instagram, and Now Media Group on YouTube. All right, have a fantastic long weekend, Kelowna. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I'll be back here on Tuesday afternoon after the long weekend for a look at more headlines. We'll see you then.
We don't just report the news. We live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.